And so listen to me very closely. I say this to you. I never said when you want to succeed as bad as you want to eat. Because you can go 21 days, maybe 30, if you're Gandhi or Gandhi's mother without eating. Fast. You can fast for 30 days. I never said when you want to succeed as bad as you want water, because you can go about 3 days or so without it. I said when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you probably only got a minute or so. Then you'll be successful. And so one of the things I want to do for you as an educator today, you don't necessarily need better skills per se. That's not what you need. But what some of you need is to go from 70% to 120%. Some of you need to go from 80% to 120%. And listen to me, I understand. I just left Florida. I won't say the city or the school. And I did a program all day, and I did something for parents. Of the 2,500 kids that go to school, only about 50 parents showed up. And some of them were married, so it wasn't even just 50, right? But it didn't bother me because I said to myself, listen to me very closely. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your daddy's not in your life. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your father's in prison. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your mom is working 2 jobs. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your grandma is raising you. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because you live in a community where education is not valued. So I don't care what you do academically, when you leave here, you can't go and get credit for getting A's. That in your neighborhood, in your community, nobody affirms you for reading at a certain level. Nobody affirms you for doing well on your ACT or your SAT. Where you come from, education is not affirmed. So even if you are a scholar, you have to keep it to yourself. You have to suppress it. So the reason why I give 120 is because your daddy's not there to give 80, and your mama's too tired to give 100, and your grandma is washed out, so she's giving 50. So I don't just want to be an educator. I don't want to just change the trajectory of their lives. I want to do it as bad as I want to breathe. I don't want to do it as much as I want to eat. I don't want to do it as much as I need to drink. I want to be the best educator in the world as bad as I want to breathe. I want to be the Michael Jordan of education. I want to be the LeBron James of education. I want to be the Gandhi and the Mother Teresa and the Malcolm X and the Martin Luther King and the Coretta Scott King and the Rosa Parks of education. And I ask you the question. Today, are you giving 120? Or are you giving these babies 70 because of what's going on with the state? Or what's going on locally at your school? Or what's going on between you and your principal? Or what's going on between you and your peers? No, listen to me. As we move forward, I must ask you the question, how bad do you want it? How bad? Now I'm gonna ask like literally, I'm gonna ask a question, and I'm gonna ask you to raise your hand, and I need us to be honest here. I need us to be transparent, because we have nothing to prove to anybody. If you're saying, Eric, there was a time where I did want it 120, but as an educator, just being honest with you, I'm a little burnt out. Let me just see your hands. Like, be honest, I'm burnt out. Just be honest, I'm burnt out. Let me see your hands. Let's not, we gotta be transparent. I'm burnt out. Good. So what I need you to do for me, this is important, because if you're burnt out, listen to me, we're the last frontier, guys. We're it. And so we're dealing with real life, and I get that. But we gotta want this as bad as we want to breathe, because if we can't get it to them, it's over. They can't get it. And we're not just dealing right now with our local schools and our states, right? We're competing against other countries right now. And not only let's leave the teachers alone, but because of the lack in some countries, their students want it as bad as they want to breathe. I want to talk about that today. I want to get you first. I want to get you back to 120, because we need you at 120. Like, look, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, I speak back to that place where not only you love education, but you're coming in with 120%. Because the one thing I know about you, if you are 120%, the outcomes of our babies are going to be totally different. Right? I know that about you. How many of you, and just be honest with me, is you raise your hand and say, Eric, for real, I'm a little burnt out. How many of you can honestly say that being burnt out affects your instruction? Let's be honest, raise your hand. Good. And we're here not just to get great information. We're here not just to go back, to our our schools, right? Our communities with great information. Literally, we're here to go to our schools and take that thing to the next level. And we're counting on you and we need you. But hear what I'm saying first. You matter the most. And I'm here today because I was ignorant 10, 15 years ago. And I put all my energy and effort on students, not realizing that if I change a student, I'm changing one person at a time. If I help teachers, I'm changing 30 kids at a time, times however many classes you teach. All right, so my goal here today is to first get you back up. So look, I need manicures, pedicures. No, I'm serious. I need, like, we're not here to talk about instruction first. Like, and I'm gonna work with John, and we're blessed to work with corporations and different entities that love Eric Thomas and bless. And so I wanna find a way to help you, right? Last year, we sent through our Delta program, we sent teachers on cruises, sent them to cities for a week, hotels, right? It's so funny. I had some of my staff members, they're so young and green. You know, they were like, Eric, we're going to bless the teachers. I was like, all right, cool. They didn't teach. I was like, how do you want to do it? We're going to bless the teachers and we're going to send them and their students to Disney World. I was like, what about that do you think is good? Like, they're with them all day long. They do not want to go to Disney World. You know, but that's what happens when you've never taught before, right? It sounds great. They're going to go to Disney World. I'll be like, well, when they get back, they're going to need about a week or two off when they get back. Like, you're not helping anybody, right? So the first thing I want you to do, for real, I need you to take care of yourself. And the way we burn out is that we put everybody else first. And then what happens is the plane is crashing. This is teachers. I love us. The plane is crashing and we're putting the oxygen tank on everybody else. And they're taking it and taking theirs. Like, so they're sucking theirs and they have yours. And I need you to do me a favor. Number one, when you leave today, I need you to take care of yourself. Right? And I need you to know that if you don't take care of every single thing, some kind of way will be taken care of. But if you burn out, we already lost. So I need manicures, pedicures, and I know I got some guys. What about us? I said manicure, pedicure. Listen to me, like, I was against it at first. I remember my friend, he invited me. I was like, bro, I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that, right? He's like, come on, come with me. I was like, all right. Then my wife went and I went. And like after that, I was like once a month, like, yo, sweetheart, do you want a manicure and pedicure? She's like, you're not thinking about me. I was like, but I am. Right? I need you to take care of yourself. I need vacation by yourself. Look, I need you just to like close your door and don't let kids meet with you in the morning, at lunch, and at night, and your planning session when you're on your way home. Like, I need you to take care of you because we are only as good as you are. And so if you're not taking care of you and you're giving me 70% or 80%, I don't have my mom's support, my grandma's support, my dad's dead in jail, I'm being raised by my grandparents, I'm in a single parent home, I'm in a mixed environment, like I'm already going through it at home, and then I come home and the one person I can count on, the one person that gives me attention, the one person that's trying to educate me and change my life, they're coming in burnt out. So I need you to take care of yourself. If you need to, if you're a person in the room and you overextend yourself and you do not take care of yourself in the way you should take care of yourself, come on, I'm telling the truth, put your hands together and say, Eric, I want you to say it out loud. I need to do better. Come on, I need to do better. And I need to put the oxygen on myself first. Yeah, come on, it's okay. Some of you are hurting, like, no, I can't put it on myself first. Like, that sounds so selfish to you. I can't put it on myself first. I must put it on them. Look, when you're on the airplane, they make it clear it's going to come down. The oxygen tank is going to come down. And they know that there are teachers on the plane. They know you're on the plane. So they have to tell you, they would think it would be common sense, but they have to tell you, whatever you do, don't give it to the person sitting next to you. They have to tell you that. Put it on yourself first, and then help them. I need you to do me a favor. When you go back, and from this point forward in your profession, you're gonna take care of yourself more. If that's you, and you know you need to do it, let me see your hand. You know you need to do it. Good. All right, next year, I'm just gonna see if we can just turn this into a pedi manicure station when we come in. All right, I'm gonna work on that next year, all right? So whatever that means for you, read a book, drink a cup of coffee, get some tea, but I just need you to take care of you because you are phenomenal, you're great, But if you're at 70 or 80%, you're no good to us. And we need you. All right, so let's get started. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can we pass? I know we got a video, but let's pass that first video. Oh, I've got my own clicker. I love it. They're like, you do it yourself. All right, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Good. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys through school days, what I had to learn as an educator is vertical and horizontal communication. I realized that as an educator, one of the things that we do is that we have so many resources around us, and we teach our children, we teach our students to, utilize these resources, and we're not utilizing them, right? So one of the things that I started doing was I started going to the schools that I work for, and I started talking to other teachers. And they would just tell me little things like, Eric, they're gonna misbehave in the month of March, but it's nothing personal. Their grandma died last year in March, and that was 2 years ago, and it just seems like every March, doing that anniversary is kind of rough on them. Look, guys, vertical and horizontal communication. I started talking to administrators. I started talking to other teachers. I started going to schools. We started to come together as instructors. We start giving each other tips and strategies. What apps are you using? What videos are you using? What are the kids doing? And I learned that I don't have to do it all by myself. You're in the room and you struggle a little bit as an educator, like, yep, I'm so smart, I'm so gifted, that I do find that oftentimes when I'm trying to teach or take my students to another level, I do a lot alone. Let me see your hands. You kind of do it alone. Good. One of the things I want to suggest you do, and I'm telling you in the School Days program, is so simple. I'm using the colleges in ways that I never used colleges before. These kids have to do so many practicum hours. They have to do so much outside the classroom, and I'm using those programs at Michigan State University. I'm using my social workers. I'm using my educators. They have to put in hours anyway, and I'm allowing them to help me with my programs. I'm bringing in the DJ. I'm using DJs. I'm using music. I'm using videos from the internet that these kids look up to, messages that I hear, on Instagram, or memes that I see. I'm bringing all that into my work so that I don't have to do it all alone. All right, now I want to walk you through my journey, and this is why you guys are so important, all right? And here's some of the guys I'm talking about. Number 29, Inky Johnson, played for the University of Tennessee, was supposed to be a number 16 draft, got into an accident against Army, almost took his life, right? But he's a motivational speaker. Some of these guys are entertainers, entrepreneurs, and we travel all over the world together. I don't do it alone anymore. And I want to encourage you to not only get information here, but as you're meeting individuals here, let's lighten each other's load, guys. It's going to be so important. All right, so let's get started. So what I wanted to share with you is why you are so important. Now, most of you heard my story, and I started homeless at 16. I found out when I was 12, 13 years old that my father who was raising me wasn't my biological father. My mother married when I was about 5 years old. I knew something was wrong, but I was still young. I didn't know what was wrong, but I knew something was wrong. And so I knew something was wrong because I was one of the only kids in the neighborhood that had 3 grandmothers. Right? You'll catch up to it. It'll catch up to you. I'll give you some time, right? Now, 3 grandmas on Christmas is great. 3 grandmas' birthday, great, right? But one of these grandmas don't belong. Right? And so I never said anything to my mom. Somewhere around 11, 12, I asked my mom, and she said, "You were right, son, that's not your father." She changed my birth certificate, changed my last name, just the whole 9. And so I was so disappointed in my mom. I felt like my whole life was a lie. And so I ran away from home at 12, off and on, and at 16, I left for good. So a lot of times I was in the classrooms, and the teachers thought I was a class clown, when I really wasn't a class clown, but I was trying to resolve. I was trying to deal with the fact that my mother, who had punished me for lying, that my whole life was a lie, my own mother lied about it, and switched my birth certificate and my whole life to cover this lie. So I brought it to school, and I'm sorry, I'm not saying that was the best thing to do, but I brought it to school. I got counseling, I had private counselors, they put me through programs, and I couldn't deal with the anger of my mom lied. And then what made it so bad, I knew my biological family, I knew my grandma, my uncles, my aunts. I just thought my father, when I would see him, was a friend of the family. So it was so complex that finally at 16, I left home. Ran away from home, of course, left school. And I remember going to church. I didn't grow up in church. I started going to church. And I remember the pastor said to me, young man, if you have any dreams, any goals, if you don't want to go to jail, if you don't want to die at an early age, you have to.
Hello everyone. Today our topic is believe in your greatness. A scene's landscape with a great music playing in the background. In these quiet moments of reflections, there are lines of in a truth waiting to embrace, to cut a sense of personal achievement, moments of joy and discriminations. You have forced challenges, hedged on defects, expectations, and expectations, shown realizations in adversary to sense and transactions, a growth of learning and self-discovery. Your journey is testament to your strength and courage, a unwavering script shrouded by those who believes in you, who have discovered the power within a source. Since shift to a mirror, reflection on the pro- protagonist. Look now in the mirror, see the greatness that resides with you. The project of smells confidently is believing in your greatness. It's your inquiry goal to the world. At the sense of photo guide its work to confidently into your future. Advertising that's uplifting on your belief. That's for enough. It's a good humility and script aims of inspire and frame the viewer believe in their own greatness throughout the imagery reflection and iconization is